boys and girls, it's Friday, coming live from my house. Gizmo hopefully will not lick his paw tonight. Gadget, it's been a long 5 days at home this week, kids. I do miss seeing your faces. Gadget, we'll see what he does. Gizmo, you know, is already chill anyway. So, one of my favorite authors, I have a lot, but I have not shared a Patricia Polacco book with you yet. This is called The Bee Tree. And actually, she is from Michigan. Bye, Gizmo. I'm tired of reading, Grandpa, Mary Ellen sighed. I'd rather be outdoors running and playing. So you don't feel like reading, eh? Feel like running, do you? Then I expect this is just the right time to find a bee tree, he said, taking down a jar and putting on his lucky hat. What's a bee tree, Grandpa? Mary Ellen asked. Well, it's where the bees make their home. It's where they keep the honey, the sweetest in the land. Grandpa chirped excitedly. But we already have honey, Grandpa, Mary Ellen said. Ah, but not like this, her grandpa answered with a wink. Mary Ellen and her grandpa put on their coats and went outdoors. They walked down past the hollyhocks to the garden and found bees gathering pollen from the flowers. Her grandpa carefully trapped some in the glass jar, making sure not to hurt them. When he was sure he had enough, he smiled and leaned close to Mary Ellen. They'll take the pollen back to the hive and make it into honey, and we'll be right behind them. Then he slowly loosened the lid of the jar and let one single bee escape. It stayed in the mouth of the jar for a moment, flew straight up, then buzzed towards the cornfield. Quick now, run! Grandpa called out as he began to chase the bee. Gadget, lay down. Just then, Miss Goblik from down the creek was walking baby Sylvester in his carriage. Mary Ellen and her grandpa ran by them. We're off to find a bee tree today, Grandpa shouted. I haven't done that since I was a girl. Miss Goblik said excitedly. May I come too? Grandpa motioned her to follow, and then 3 of them were off and running. Baby Sylvester laughed out loud as his carriage bumped and bounced to the rows of corn. Honk, went a goose as it waddled after them. Gadget, Gizmo, come. Boys, come here. As they came from the cornfield and crossed Ditz Junction, Einar Thunderbolt came around the bend on his squeaky old bike. Where are y'all going in such a hurry, he asked. A bee tree, Mary Ellen puffed, as the foursome scurried by. Chasing a bee to its tree? This I would like to do also, he said, as he stood up and pedaled faster. The wheels of his bike went tweedle, tweedle, squeak. Their boots slapped the ground. Gadget, lay down. Their boots slapped the ground. The buggy pitched and swayed, and the goose honked as they ran after that bee. The bee swooped down, stopped, held in midair, then circled past them and headed straight for the St. Joe River. Olaf Lundenheim, while strolling on the nearby shore, was charming Herman's sisters, Petra and Dorma. Looked up and noticed the commotion coming toward them. Where are you all going? He called out. To a bee tree we are going. Einar Thunderbolt puffed as he pedaled by. Can we come too? The 2 lovely ladies pleaded. Fast, you'll have to run, Einar said. We don't care, let's go. The 3 shouted as they raced after him. Slap, bump, honk, tweedle, tweedle, squeak, flop. They all went as they sped down the road after the bee. Klondike Bertha Fitchworth, just back from an expedition in Yukon, had car trouble next to the road. She looked up just in time to see everybody running by. You say you're after a bee tree? She shrieked. Zones! Like it'd be easy, but eureka! What an adventure! She sprinted along behind them. The bee dipped and soared as it made its way out of sight. Don't mind the squeaking of the toys, boys and girls. Gizmo has a toy on my husband's lap. Hope you can see through a gadget sitting in the way. But Grandpa carefully let another out, and the chase was on again. The noisy merry bunch galloped up over Bird Talk Fellow Ridge, only to run smack dab into fiduciary Long Drop's herd of goats. The goats bleated and bucked as the people clambered through them. "What ho!" Fiduciary called out. "You're going to scare the goats!" "A bee tree," a voice called back. With that, Fiduciary tooted his flute, and he and his flock joined the chase. "Bounding Billies, this'll be great," he said on a dead run. 3 traveling musicians looked up just in time to see a thundering stampede of goats. Buggies, people, and bikes coming straight for them. "Why are they all running, Pa?" one of the boys asked his father. "We're after that bee," Grandpa said, pointing at the small dot in the sky. "It's leading us to a bee tree." Mary Ellen wailed as she streaked by them. "Come along," Klondike Bertha chortled as she huffled past. Slap, bump, bleat, honk, tweedle, tweedle, squeak, thump. They all went as they ran. Hoofs clattered. Rows of corn were parted. Nothing really mattered but chasing that bee. They ran through Grenier's Bluff and into Bishop's Meadow, around Dead Man's Tree, and then to Bird Talk Hollow. As they ran down the hollow, the bee took blinding speed and disappeared from their sight. They all stopped to catch their breath just in front of Dunk's Woods. Grandpa handed the jar with the last bee in it to Mary Ellen, and she let it out. Sure enough, it flew straight and low, right into Dunk's Woods. "It's the bee tree," Grandpa whispered. "That's where the honey will be. But we'll need plenty of smoke." No Gadget. Don't worry, boys and girls. Gadget's fine. Gadget, up. Lay down. Come on, up, Gadget. Everyone set about to build a smoke fire from the twigs and damp leaves. When the smoke had quitted the bees, Grandpa balanced on Elnar's bicycle and reached into the tree. As he pulled out small pieces of honeycomb, he dropped them into some of baby Sylvester's spare clean diaper that Klondike Bertha was holding. Mary Ellen tied them into neat little bundles, and Mr. Lundhagen put them into the baby carriage. The musicians played merrily as the Herman sisters danced. Grandpa invited everyone back to the house for baking powder biscuits, fresh brewed tea, and of course, the honey. There was music, dancing, tall tales, and raucous laughter as they all buzzed about the sweet adventure of the day. Grandpa took Mary Ellen inside, away from the crowd. "Now, child, I'm going to show you what my father showed me, and his father before him," he said quietly. He spooned the honey under the cover of one of her books. "Taste," he said, in almost a whisper. Mary Ellen savored the honey on her book. "There is such sweetness inside of that book, too," he said thoughtfully. "Such things: adventure, knowledge, and wisdom. But these things do not come easily. You have to pursue them, just like we ran after the bees to find their tree. So you must also chase things through the pages of a book." Then he smiled and hugged her. From that day on, Mary Ellen never complained about her reading. She found it every bit as exciting as a wild chase through the Michigan countryside. as sweet as honey from a bee tree. All right, boys and girls, there's our Crazy Friday from the Sommers house. I will see you again tomorrow. Keep reading.